Hello, I'm Ronald Brown Jr. I'm 25 years into my career in the apartment industry. I had a great job in Alpharetta, Georgia for 3 years. I was promoted twice, I had good evaluations, and all seemed well until the company did a merger, cut our budgets near zero, and ran the property maintenance on a skeleton crew to save money. Naturally, you can expect budget cuts and being short-staffed to cause issues. However, management did this for a full quarter. During this time, some maintenance men quit, leaving only me and my apprentice to do the maintenance work for 4 people. Working during this period was very hard, but we were determined to succeed and keep the property up. Yet, the heat wave of the spring was especially draining, and I was the only one fully trained to work on HVAC or HVAC heating and air conditioning. This means I was outdoors almost the entire day. This would be the beginning of health issues for me. During the heat wave, my job was really difficult. At some point, I began to feel the symptoms of heat stroke. I put in several requests for temp help. The requests were all denied. I came to work with headaches. I couldn't sleep at night because I felt like I couldn't cool down enough to sleep, despite cold baths. I asked the property manager to get us temp help as per company policy, but corporate still denied my request. The money they were saving was too good to let go. After a day of working on air conditioners in the heat, I would have to take up the slack of the missing techs. Regular repairs, punch work, grounds, inspecting vacants, and coordinate move-ins. One day, I was being praised by the manager for sticking it out and working so hard while we were short-handed. My response was, "Thank you, but this job is killing me and I'm getting ill from all the overworking. I don't want praise, I just want some help now." 2 days after this statement, I was summoned into the manager's office for a meeting with my manager and a regional manager who was on the speakerphone. I was informed that I was being disciplined with a write-up because the property wasn't being properly maintained in the maintenance department. They claimed that I was suddenly struggling in my position as a maintenance manager. I wasn't keeping proper stock and that my crew had made complaints that I was not ordering them items for the shop. Keep in mind, our budget was cut to near zero. We were short on maintenance employees, and yet they're claiming that I was the cause of all these issues. I made a cogent counter-argument that stunned them into silence. It was easy. I just stated the aforementioned facts, let alone the fact that they had recently given me a good evaluation in my review, which are in my records, by the way. Doctor fell on deaf ears. I ended up getting so sick that I came into the office one day to cool off from the heat. I was nauseous and short on breath. I asked my manager if I could leave to visit my doctor. The manager's only interest was for me to continue working. She responded that if I needed to see a doctor, I would need to put in 2 weeks' notice advance. Although people have left for lesser issues. Fortunately, a leasing agent was kind enough to bring me some water. I went to the maintenance room to cool down. The next day, I went to visit my doctor on my lunch break. It's fortunate that I did because I had an irregular heartbeat, dehydration, and symptoms of heat stroke. I was out on disability leave for 30 days. This is where my legal issues began. Upon my return from a 30-day leave, the company discriminated and harassed me in the following ways. 1, I was not returned to my management position. I was treated as the next position down, a ticket runner. 2, I was locked out of the computer for 6 weeks. That's where most of my duties are and part of my job. 3, I was denied access to company resources, such as company credit and purchase ordering, while others were allowed to use the same cards. 4, I was treated differently from other employees, for example, not being invited to crew gatherings on the clock. Other employees are allowed to leave for minor headaches or other issues where I was not allowed. 5, I was not informed of company changes necessary for me to do my job. For example, at one point, the manager decided to change the scheduling for the trash pickup. Without me knowing, we couldn't act accordingly. My requests to HR and upper management for intervention were ignored, and they only came to hear the manager side of things. The manager usurped my duties and by redirecting my workers, and at that point, I should mention, temp help had came out during my absence. They hired like 3 or 4 guys to come out as temps. The manager, though, would redirect their orders that I would give them or their duties without my knowledge. Now, considering the actions mentioned above, the manager would CC me in emails to corporate complaining about maintenance being out of control and how I wasn't doing my duties, even though she basically allowed the temps to not follow my orders. I would send rebuttals and or complaints to HR to correct this problem as I was being harassed at this point. But my requests were ignored. Instead of having an intervention and sorting out the issues, corporate's upper management came to our workplace and only met with the manager, who seemed further encouraged to harass me and keep doing unfair practices. Needless to say, I was terminated within 3 months after I returned from sick leave. Corporate willingly did not address the problems I complained about and allowed the ill behavior of the manager to stand. I went to the EEOC and I was granted the right to sue. I found out that I would have won my mediation if it weren't for one document missing from the claim. So I had to continue via the courts. I'm asking anyone who has been in my position or anyone who's been harassed and discriminated at work to donate to my cause. I do not want to let this company continue to harass and discriminate with impunity. I'm grateful to anyone who's willing to donate, great or small. I've been seeking an attorney, and so far the price of justice is way too high for me to afford alone. It's people like you who can help bring these aggressors to justice. I thank you for any help you can give, sincerely.